I wanted to add something to this, because I started off in saying this is the face we show, that we show white people, but as long as human beings are fragmented and not solid and whole within themselves and come to terms like Oprah has come to terms with all that she is, even white people have a face they show to white people. Everyone shows what they hope will gain acceptance into the world. But once you've accepted yourself and recognize your connectedness to the entire being, to the universe, and you're moving in a cooperative manner, as exemplified by Cecil in the film. He had the stillness of being to wait on God's hands, to wait on the universal purpose. And once that was accomplished, it wasn't accomplished at a time when he hoped it would be accomplished, but it was accomplished when it was necessary. These musical octaves, at the end, they will come to a crescendo, and there will be balance. But you have to trust that, and we have to move as a solid people. But until then, we're going to be fragmented, and we're going to blame everyone when we see them have a false face or a false tone when it's the reflection of our own tones and our own falseness. So, you know, we're all playing games.
The opposite of what it is. It's your inner self, in a way, that we're protecting, I think. I mean, it's always difficult because I get asked that question. Terrence Howard, and then I'm the hype man on the side.
I'm gonna get some more questions in because I have people waving wildly now. This woman here. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Dominga Martin with Creme Magazine. I just want to congratulate everyone on a phenomenal film and performances, Mr. Daniels. I just want to ask you, you have such a way with creating a scene where it seems very authentic. Can you talk about how you ignited the set for the cast? And for any cast who wants to answer, were there any moments where you really just had to gather yourself because of the political context and step into the performance?
Who hasn't talked?
I think
Minka.
something funny. Why don't you talk about the parrot?
Parrot.
Parrot. Yeah, I was thinking.
Lenny, talk about the parrot.
Lenny, talk about the parrot.
Well, there was the scene where we were all in the house together, and I think Lee thought it would be nice to have a parrot. I don't think that Lee meant for the parrot to have lines and to act. But the parrot did what the parrot wanted to do because he's a parrot, and ended up becoming a very interesting part of the scene. And yes, and I got to act with the parrot, and it was a good moment where you just go with what's happening.
He got so frustrated with the parrot, he was throwing stuff at it, and then he put it in the movie. How about the moment where we're in the room and the parrot, where everybody's trying to act like the parrot's in the room, and then you hear on the speaker Lee go, "There's an effing parrot in the room, people!"
Acknowledge they kept acting like there was I put the parrot in the room for a reason. To throw them off, to confuse them, to make it real, to make it honest. And everybody's acting like the parrot's not squawking. I said, the parrot is squawking. It's freaking squawking. React. And so Oprah finally said, "Shut up, parrot."
I've had the privilege of working with Lee on both the Paperboy and the Butler, and thank you. I honestly can, and I'm sure I'm reiterating what others here feel. No director I work with do I feel like I am infinitely better as an actor beyond working with him because of what we've just talked about. Yes, we're talking about a parrot here, but you know, in other circumstances, he throws things that he gets to know you as a person, and then he makes it a point to take you to places you don't know you can get to. And he doesn't want to rehearse because he wants all the truth on screen. What he does is he finds out your truth. You have 3-hour conversations in the middle of the night where he calls you up, and you get to know each other. And then when you're on set with him, he takes you and he goes, "Rah!" And it is terrifying. It is rewarding. It is the truth. He just is the truth, and that is.
Brings you to the monitor. Tell that part.
Oh yeah. And then this is how true it gets. So he'll. Lee, we love you. No.
Okay, here it comes.
He'll bring you to the monitor and go, "Okay, David, come, watch this. False." Ew! Genius! Splendid. Yes!
Yes! That's what
Oh
I'm
my
saying.
God! Do not do that. If you do that in my movie again, and
Lee, how does this make you feel?
Humiliated.
Living.
These are my secrets.
Humiliated with a
Can we
smile.
spread this and talk to Jesse and say, is there some moment that happened with you? And then Minka?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I think that it was much like what David pointed out. You know, Lee and I got to know each other pretty well in preparation for the film, and I think that what's really interesting about being on set with Lee is a balance that I haven't found on another set, and I think I can speak for a lot of the actors here that there is such a thing. Directing is such a delicate balance, and sometimes there is such a thing as having too much freedom, or be in an environment that's too rigid. And what Lee really provides is a place that is really sound and secure and rooted in truth, as some of us have spoken about, which offers you security as an actor. You know you're in a safe space. You know that it is anchored by something. You're tethered to something that needs to be told. But then also shaking the hell out of you and offering you freedom, which as an actor we all clamor for in some form or fashion, to be able to take ownership in forming and shaping a character, making a genuine contribution. We are not parrots. Right? We're not just here to recite lines. We want to try to mold something. There's a malleability to the art form, and that balance is something that I found perfected in my experience working on the film. And because we were all over the place, and we created, you spoke about the set and the art direction, creating a space that really makes you feel authentic. You don't have to imagine it. It's so much, I mean, for a living, we walk around and audition in crappy boxes and on carpet and a chair and pretend that we're in these fantastic lands, and it's pretty horrible. I hate auditioning, but when you actually are in a real authentic space and you have somebody who's so active, usually you're in an environment where it's action and you do your thing and then cut and then you get notes or yelled at, but in this, Lee is active. He's yelling at you during the take. He's yelling at you in the middle of a scene. He's doing more lines than you sometimes. And you'll sort it out later, but it keeps it alive, it keeps you surprised, it keeps you active, and you can't sleep. So authenticity is really important. And another thing that I would say is the knowing that you owe your best self when you show up, and so in preparing your research, this is a film which offers, we spoke a little bit about this last night, that offers historical context to generations watching it now. And I found in the process of researching the character of Reverend James Lawson was the role that he played in the movement was actually bringing historical context of the work of Mahatma Gandhi in South Africa and India to inform the black freedom struggle in this country. So history is always informing every single thing that we do. And that's exactly what the film strived and I think succeeded in accomplishing.